Hello everyone. Today what we'll be doing is we'll actually be setting up the user interface for the profile. If we look at the profile now, the way Instagram has it set up, there's three zones. There's three main big zones. There's a top header, there's a middle section that includes an image and some labels and a button, and then there's the bottom section that houses all of the gallery photos and whatnot. And then those sections can also be broken up into different pieces. So the top and the middle actually have multiple components within those sections. So if we look at that, now we're kind of breaking it up in more sections. So we have the label, the buttons up top in the first section. In the second section, we have three additional big sections. And in the bottom, we have the main big section. Okay, so currently this is what our application flow looks like. We have our sign in that we've already established, and then we have our view controller. So once we actually get past the login, we come to our main view controller, which is this one. And if we swipe left to right, and that's from a previous video that we recorded earlier in this series, we go to these different pages, and this is to mimic the way Instagram currently works. If you don't remember setting this up, I'll put a link to the video that shows exactly what this is supposed to represent. Now, our main view controller, our app view controller here, this is where the meat of our application is. It drops us off here, and this is where we see our feed. So another thing that the Instagram app has that this one doesn't is, I'm just going to put this here. This is a tab bar here, and it allows us multiple pages. So now we're gonna break this down into multiple pages. So today we're gonna work on the profile UI. So one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of this view controller because that's not what we need here. We need a tab bar view controller here, right? So we're just going to put this here, and this is to mimic this. So we have our different tabs, and it's going to take us to different views based on which one we select. Now the first thing we have to do is we have to go ahead and give the storyboard ID, which is going to be the same as it was before, so that way we can actually go in between these views and get here. Now we're going to say that this one is going to be okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to mimic what we have in our diagram. So we want to start off with the main view controllers, well, not the view controllers, but the main UI. And we're just going to drop this down a little bit to like here. And then we're just going to pull that over. We're going to pull this up, and that's going to represent our label. All right, something a little less offensive. Okay, and I'm just going to copy this down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just select all of these, throw them into a main stack. So let's go ahead and just rename this stack. We're going to say this is our main content, our main stack. So within this stack we have several views, and it's going to, let's actually do this. Let's add some constraints to, oops, we want to do another stack. Here we go. We're going to add constraints to our main stack. So we're just going to, okay, add constraints. Now our views within here don't have the position set. Okay, so what we need to do is give it a Y position for these. So if I select the first one, what we want this to do is we want this to always feel at the top. This is going to be the very top thing that we have. And then we're going to add those 4 constraints. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing here where we're going to add constraints. We're going to add the same constraints. We're going to do aspect ratio, and that gets rid of that, and then it solves this one as well. All right, so we're looking good. And if I just go back to my main, we don't see the spaces, and we can go ahead and fix that really fast. Okay, so now we can actually see that divide. Now within these views, we're going to have more views. So we're going to have, actually, we're not going to have more views. We're going to have different items. So let's go ahead and figure out what's wrong with this first. And we're just going to update these. All right, now we're back looking good again. So here we want to, the top, we can go ahead and add our item. So we're going to have a label. So we're going to throw a label in here. Right? And that's just going to be like this. And then that's going to have some constraints on it. All right, so we could just do this. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and populate this. So here we have the label. We need an image. That. And that's going to be pinned up in this corner. Right? And then I need a label. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible because what's been happening is my computer has really been junking out on me. So here we have a label, and we're just going to pin this label here and let it stretch with it. Okay, and then we're going to have a button to say edit your profile. There we go. So I think that's, as far as what we have saved in the database, this will actually work for us. We're just going to clip to bounds just in case. So this should actually work for us. So what we're going to do in our next video is we're just going to populate this value, and then this image. So if you want to see how that's done, stay tuned.